Bonjour. I'm Marianne Mosley with the Pelican Players, and I'm coming to you from the Veterans Theater, home of the Pelican Players Community Theater. And I opened up our prop cabinets to give you a little hint about what tonight's show is about. Our radio theater presents old-time radios, but we also have some originals. Tonight's Murder Mystery Radio Theater is an original by one of our Pelican Players, James Williams, and it's called Murder at Flontrachet Vineyards. Happy drinking, bonsoir, enjoy the show.
Welcome. Tonight, Pelican Players, your local community theater for the Sun City Center, Ruskin, Waimama, Riverview, Apollo Beach, and surrounding area, has the pleasure of entertaining you with another show by the Pelican Players Radio Theater. The cast is made up of all volunteer local residents. We will introduce the cast following tonight's show. And now, tonight's performance.
Hi there, my name is James Williams. While sitting at my computer the other day, I started writing a murder mystery dinner theater script to be used by the Pelican Players. After completing it, I started thinking that it could be modified for radio version. I took a second pass at it and created a radio script. I used to work in the airline industry, so I traveled to many places. I loved the idea of incorporating a magical little French town into the story. I had a lot of fun dreaming up all the characters and their situations. I hope you enjoyed listening to Murder at Flontrachet Vineyard. Now, maestro, strike up the French accordion. Bonsoir.
Our story begins in France's wine country, a picturesque microcosm of exquisite lushness. The rolling hills hold acres and acres of varied shades of green, brown, and deep purple vineyards with abundant dangling fruits. Chardonnay and Pinot Noir are the main grape varieties grown and harvested in the region. Some of the strong, twisted vines date back to the 6th century. Oh, the summer day was breathtaking as 6 friends set out on holiday, their paths converging at the Dijon train station, where they all boarded the 11 o'clock train to Flontrachet. All of their conversations were similar. They all spoke of having a relaxing weekend of wining and dining and living life large. But what they didn't know was that tragedy was lurking in the shadows. One of these armies would be returning to Dijon in handcuffs and in the back seat of an Alpine A110 with the sirens loudly blaring and the blue lights flashing.
I am Inspector Petit. Yesterday, your friend, socialite Fiona Flontrachet, graciously welcomed you to her beautiful vineyard garden chateau here in Flontrachet. As you know, today she was found dead. The medical examiner declared the time of her death was at exactly 8:47 a.m. It appears she was the victim of foul play and murder. I want to start by talking to each of you. I will start with you, mademoiselle, and then go around the room. Please state your name and your relationship to the deceased, Fiona Flontrachet.
Gracias, Inspector Petit. Hola, I am Rosa Rosebud. I so loved my dear friend Fiona. Fiona. She meant so much to me. Why, I wouldn't hurt a flea. Ew, I got it. I mean, it was so nice of her to invite me to Flontrachet after the tango. Disculpe. I mean, tango we did last weekend in Paris. I also knew her late husband, Jean-Claude. Very, 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 very Well, Chihuahua.
Mademoiselle, I must ask, where were you this morning at 8:47?
Oh, I'm not much of a clock watcher, but I must have been taking a hot bath with my scrub brush and big bar of French milled soap right around that time. I was getting myself presentable for the day. It was so relaxing. I love the floral scented soap that Fiona puts out for all her guests. It's so très magnifique.
I see. Rosa Rosebud, you say you were in the bath with a scrub brush and a big bar of floral scented French milled soap. Oh, la la, that sounds so good. Pardon, mademoiselle. You do make me wonder if you are telling the truth, though. Will you take a lie detector test? I will have more questions for you, Rosa, so don't you go anywhere. Not to confuse matters further, but I found liquid near Fiona's dead body. Plus, there was also a light floral scent in the room. That liquid has been sent to be tested at the lab in Dijon. I will get the results soon. I wonder what truly happened. Thank you, Rosa. Now, monsieur, please provide your name and relationship to the deceased.
I am Louis Pasteur. You have the great pleasure of meeting a descendant of Louis Pasteur. Ah oui, moi, me. He was my great grandfather. My great family and I have been great friends of the late great Fiona. I love coming to Flontrachet. This is a very tragic day. Very tragic indeed.
Monsieur, where were you this morning at 8:47?
I am curious, just like my great grandfather Louis. There is only one place that I would be, in the wine cellar. The fermentation process intrigues me. I know it is nothing like pasteurization, but the wine cellar is where Fiona kept many wines, including her prize rosé. I uncorked and drank a few bottles of rosé. Their light floral-scented rosé formula is très fantastique. I am certain that everyone from this region agrees. There is something so special about the rosé formula. I have never been able to put my finger on it, but one day I hope to discover the secret behind Flontrachet's formulas.
I see. Louis Pasteur, you say you were in the wine cellar with a corkscrew and bottles of floral-scented rosé. That seems believable, but I truly wonder if you are telling me the truth. Could the floral-scented liquid found near Fiona's body be bathwater or rosé wine? I will get to the bottom of this. I'll have more questions for you, Monsieur Pasteur. Stay close. Now, mademoiselle, it's your turn. Please, state your name and relationship to the deceased.
I am Ivy Inverness. My hair is a tangled mess. I am so sorry for my appearance. I just can't keep the tangles out of my hair. Oh, ouch. Oh, now that's better. Oh, my poor friend Fiona. My poor dear friend Fiona. She always helped me with this. She helped me with so much with everything. I don't know what I'm going to do without her.
Oui, today is truly a tangled mess, just like your hair. Excusez-moi, mademoiselle. Exactly where were you this morning at 8:47?
Literally tangled up in the rose garden. I was walking along with a gigantic pot of rose hip tea. It was so hot. And a heavy mug when, from out of nowhere, my hair got caught in a rose bush. I nearly lost my balance and fell, but I caught myself caught myself. I didn't spill a drop of the rosehip tea, but I was a little frustrated, but not much. I am so clumsy at times. I rescued the teapot and mug, then made my way to the little wrought iron table underneath the gazebo, covered with bright pink bougainvillea. Even though the chair was cold and hard, I enjoyed my cup of rosehip tea. And I finally relaxed while listening to the wind and watching little birds and squirrels. I also had a piece of French bread, country butter, and a big dollop of Fiona's old Chardonnay wine jelly and Gruyere cheese.
Gruyere, my favorite. Is there any left? Oh, pardon, mademoiselle. So, you say you were in the rose garden with a gigantic pot of hot rosehip tea and a heavy mug? I know that I must stay neutral with my investigation, mademoiselle, but your story sounds contrived and a bit twisted. So, you say you were carrying rosehip tea in a teapot. Rosehips have a nice floral scent too. That means I add another liquid to my list. Was the liquid found near Fiona's body bath water? Rosehip tea or rosé wine? There is so much to consider. I want to talk to you next, mademoiselle. Please state your name and relationship to the deceased.
My name is Blue Bella. Fiona and I have been friends for many, many years. She has always been there for me. I am going to miss her. Inspector, I hope to help you bring down her killer. She didn't deserve to die this way. When I find out who did this, I will use both of my fists and I fiercely pound them on top of their head. Why would anyone do such an abominable thing?
You have a right to be upset, but please control your anger. Take a deep breath. Deep breaths will help you calm down. In and out. In and out. In and out. Now, Mademoiselle Bella, exactly where were you this morning at 8:47?
Why do you ask me that? I am no suspect.
But Mademoiselle Bella, not answering my question makes me look very, very, very guilty. Please reconsider. Where were you this morning at 8:47?
If you must know, I was innocently burning the sacred rose incense, floating on the holy water in Fiona's little chapel, while holding on to a 3-foot statue of Saint Dymphna with my fist.
Merci, mademoiselle. Now that wasn't so bad, was it? So, you say you were in Fiona's little chapel, burning sacred rose incense, floating on holy water, while holding on to a 3-foot statue of Saint Dymphna with your fists? Don't go anywhere, Blue. You need to cool off. I am watching your every move. Could the liquid found near Fiona's body be sacred rose-infused holy water? Thank you, Blue. That was truly revealing. Mademoiselle, you are next. Please state your name and relationship to the deceased.
Oui, je m'appelle, I am Paris Pink. I am Fiona's friend and a business associate. The last time I spent the weekend in Flontrachet, my car broke down. I didn't think a weekend could get any worse. I can't believe this happened, Inspector. You must find Fiona's killer.
Oui, yes. I am in the process of finding Fiona's killer. Mademoiselle Pink, where were you this morning at 8:47?
Seriously, Inspector? Remove me from this search and this silly questioning. If Daddy were here, he would get to the bottom of this right away. I need to call Daddy.
Mademoiselle, your daddy isn't here. You need to tell me where were you this morning at 8:47.
Oh, Inspector, it wasn't me. I was working out. I need to keep myself in shape. I was drenched in sweat in Fiona's fitness studio, spinning, then lifting free weights and kettlebells. When you party like me, you need to stay fit. By the way, Inspector, my floral-infused water is missing.
Let me take all this down in my notebook. You say you were in Fiona's fitness studio, drenched in sweat, with free weights and kettlebells in your possession, plus you are missing your floral-scented water. Oh, no, Mademoiselle Pink, there is no way that your name will be removed from my list of suspects. You are guilty until proven innocent. I cannot wait until the lab results on the liquid are back from Dijon. That liquid found next to Fiona's body could very well be floral-infused water. Don't go running or spinning away to Daddy, Mademoiselle. I'm almost certain that we can outrun you, right? Now, that's enthusiasm. Très bon. Monsieur, it is time for you to state your name and relationship to the deceased.
I am Citron Laurent, and Fiona is my friend, and a passionate lover of many, many years. When she asked me to come to the Vineyard this weekend, I thought it would be a time to relax, unwind, and make the love. I never dreamed anything like this would happen. This certainly is the most twisted time I've ever had at Flontrachet.
There is no time to relax, unwind, or make the love in Flontrachet today. Pardonnez-moi, Monsieur L'Orange. I must ask, where were you this morning at 8:47?
Of course, Inspector Petit, you have my full cooperation, huh? I was enjoying one of Fiona's finest bottles of floral-scented champagne, warm, dark chocolat croissants, and leftover frogois out on the veranda. I was also reading my new, extraordinarily heavy hardback novel, How to Get Away with Murder by Jean-Patrick Machet. It is such a provocative and compelling book. It has a lot of great ideas in it. You should read it. I highly recommend it. It simply cannot put it down. I cannot wait to finish it.
Champagne, warm dark chocolate croissants, leftover foie gras, and a hardback novel. This is totally appetizing and disturbing. You say you were on the veranda reading an extraordinarily heavy hardback novel entitled How to Get Away with Murder with a bottle of floral-scented champagne? I need to find out so much more. The truth must be revealed. Citron, sit down. You're not going anywhere. I am watching you. I am watching every one of you. That liquid next to Fiona's body could be a number of things. Any one of you could have murdered Fiona Flontrachet. While I wait for the lab results from Dijon, I have a few more questions for you. Mademoiselle Rosebud, you say you were bathing at 8:47 this morning. I question that. According to Mademoiselle Belle, she saw you with wet hair in your bathrobe in the kitchen, cutting a baguette with a large knife. Mademoiselle Belle also told me that you had an ongoing affair with Fiona's late husband, Jean-Claude. She said the affair lasted right up until the day he died. I find this information very damaging. Was there any kind of jealousy between you and Mademoiselle Flontrachet? Did you ever think about murdering her? Is it something you have been planning?
Oh, I was in the kitchen later after my bath. As for Jean-Claude, he had feelings for both of us. We had a beautiful arrangement. There were no ill feelings or jealousy involved at all. As for being in the kitchen, see, I was there. I got hungry, so I made myself a little sandwich with some fresh bread, brie, and green grapes. Inspector Petit, do you know about the $20,000 that Fiona lent Blue 4 years ago? Fiona told me that Blue never attempted to pay her back. I believe I overheard Blue and Fiona arguing last night. Blue probably asked Fiona for more money. Inspector, I have a feeling that Fiona was being blackmailed. Blue is keeping secrets from us all.
I am not blackmailing anyone. You see, Fiona helped me get my life back on track a few years ago. I will always be grateful for her help. Fiona and I, we were not arguing. We had a little bit too much of the cognac. We got a little loud about the sardines and the finances. Oh, it's an ongoing joke that only Fiona and I understand. But I have no secrets. But I know someone who does. Howie, what were you really doing in the wine cellar? Fiona's safe is down there. That's where she keeps her family's secret wine and champagne formulas. Did your great-great-great-grandfather steal the pasteurization formula? Eh? You know what they say, like great-great-great-great-grandfather, like great-great-great-great-grandson. Howie, greed is a selfish and excessive desire.
That is ridiculous, Blue. I have a great mind, just like my great-great-great-great-grandfather Louis. Why would I need Fiona's secret wine and champagne formulas? Both you and Rosa have more reasons for murdering Fiona. But usually, the murderer is a person who you wouldn't suspect. Right, Inspector Petit? That is why I believe the killer is Mademoiselle Inverness. Fiona embarrassed you, Ivy, at the dinner table in front of everyone last night. You used a spaghetti fork to eat the escargot, and a common table fork to eat the Charlotte Russe. We were all laughing at your stupidity. I saw the fire raging in your eyes. Fiona made you feel small and unimportant, didn't she?
Inspector, this is simply not true. I've put up with a lot worse things in my life. I was laughing right along with everyone last night. Monsieur Pessieux, did you set me up? Someone took my escargot fork. I did what anyone would do. I improvised. Anyway, Howie, putting your stupidity aside, I think Paris should be the one in the hot seat. I know about your daddy's real estate ventures. I understand both of you were courting Fiona. Inspector Petit, Paris and her daddy wanted Fiona to sell Flontrachet Vineyard, but she refused, and she laughed in your faces. Fiona was more powerful than you and your daddy. You were jealous, Paris. Envious pain at the good fortune of others. I believe that, don't you?
Business is business. I was not jealous of Fiona's formidable power. The two of us were like glue. We stuck together through thick and thin. We had each other's back. She told me all of her dirty little secrets. Inspector, I know all about Fiona and Monsieur L'Orange. You couldn't remain monogamous, could you, Citron? Fiona loved you even more than Jean-Claude, her dead husband, who was also Rosa's ex-lover. You were king of Flontrachet Vineyard, but you broke Fiona's heart. She found out about you cheating on her, so she started cheating on you. I know all about your illicit affairs.
Oh, Inspector, Fiona and I were working things out between us. Why did you think she invited me here this weekend? She knew about Alice, Nadine, Inez, Julia, Rebecca, and Olga. But I never told her about Bernadette, Lanelle, Valerie, Sandra, and Agatha, I feel somewhat guilty about that. I should have told her, but I would never, never murder my beautiful Fiona, Inspector. Do you have any light you can shed on her murder? Oh, where was her body found? What was the cause of her death? When will we hear something from the lab in Dijon?
I have more information. Although lab results have not yet arrived, we determined from our investigations that Fiona was hit on top of the head with a heavy object. It looks like she was dragged or pushed. There was a struggle. Stairs were involved, and there are many stairways in this chateau. My team is still investigating those areas for clues. Her body was moved from the place where she was murdered to the place where her body was discovered. I will not provide any details about that location until I ask a few more questions. I hear a siren. The lab results may finally be here.
The Pelican Players Radio Theater will conclude tonight's show in a moment. But first, Pelican Players is your community theater celebrating over 40 years of providing live entertainment. In 2020, we arranged with WSCQ Sun Radio to provide recordings of our Readers Theater performances to be broadcast and streamed from their station and website on the last Friday each month. Pelican Players consists of all volunteer local talent on stage and behind the scenes. Our members perform in our main stage, Murder Mystery Theater, Cabaret Singers, Readers Theater, Comedy Club, Twig Theater, and Radio Theater Productions. Pelican Players is a 501c3 nonprofit with proceeds from our performances going to scholarships for Hillsborough County students in the arts. To date, we have donated over $600,000 to this endeavor. We always welcome new members who have an interest in performing or helping behind the scenes. Even though headquartered in Kings Point, you do not have to live in Kings Point to become a member or attend performances. For more information, please visit our website, www.pelicanplayersscc.org. And now, Pelican Players Radio Theater continues with tonight's performance.
Our 6 suspects have become very agitated with Inspector Petit. You see, the inspector locked them all in Fiona's wine cellar, with only champagne, rosé, cornichons, and a stale loaf of round French country bread. But what they didn't know was that Inspector Petit was watching, listening, and recording their every move and word. She and her investigative team placed hidden cameras in the wine cellar to see if they could secretly uncover more clues to solve Fiona Flontrachet's murder. She observed all 6 suspects taunting, snarling, and snapping at each other. They were all blaming one another for Fiona's murder. Well, Inspector Petit got the information she needed to solve this crime, as well as the lab results from Dijon. Now, let's continue with murder at Flontrachet Vineyard. Inspector Petit is opening the creaking wine cellar door.
I must say, I find all of you to be very sleazy, shady, and seedy suspects. Many of you have hit an all-time low with your behavior. I have been watching, listening, and recording you for the past 3.5 hours. You give me no choice but to ask more questions based upon my observation. No one will leave this wine cellar until we find out who murdered Fiona Flontrachet. Mademoiselle Rosebud, I understand you were bathing in the upstairs bathroom.
See, that is correct. I used the upstairs bathroom.
Mademoiselle, I found 2 sets of wet footprints around the bathtub.
Oh, Miss
What
Bisson.
is your foot size?
Miss Bisson, me pequeños, so 5.5.
Yes, that matches. I believe you were in the bathroom, but I also believe that there was someone else in the bathroom bathing with you. Now, for the record, were you and Fiona bathing together?
Oh, Inspector Petit. No. I was not in the bathroom bathing with Fiona.
Mademoiselle, for the record, who was in the bathroom bathing with you?
Oh, Inspector Petit, this is a very, very private matter.
Mademoiselle, you must answer my question. Who was in the bathroom bathing with you?
Ay. Oh, lo siento mucho, Citron. Citron and I were bathing together.
Sacre bleu!
Monsieur Laurent, you have small feet.
Oh.
Pardon, monsieur. I thought that you and Fiona were in a relationship. Why were you bathing with Mademoiselle Rosebud?
Inspector Petit, my feet are not small. I was in the bathroom bathing with Rosa because I wanted to relax in a hot tub with a beautiful woman. It was purely innocent.
Monsieur Laurent, but you told me earlier that you were on the veranda, drinking champagne, eating warm, dark chocolate croissants, leftover foie gras, and reading a book.
Oui, I was on the veranda for a while. But I noticed a beautiful curved silhouette of a Rosa in the upstairs bathroom window. So I took a bottle of champagne and 2 glasses upstairs to join her. I delicately knocked on the bathroom door, and Rosa invited me in. I slowly removed my clothes and stepped into the hot perfumed tub. It was so exciting. Oh, madame. Rosa, my little Spanish fly, she took all my cares away instantly.
Monsieur Laurent, you leave me speechless. Absolutely speechless. Mademoiselle Inverness, you were in the Rose Garden. Did you exit the chateau from the veranda door? Did you see or pass Monsieur Laurent on your way to the garden?
Yes. I used the veranda to get to the rose garden, but I did not see Monsieur Laurent. I do remember seeing a chocolate croissant in a little bread basket, though. I also remember smelling foie gras. It's not one of my favorite smells, especially in the morning. I was focused on not spilling the rose-hip tea, and the handle was very, very warm, so I was moving quickly to the table beneath the gazebo.
And you are certain that you didn't spill any of the rose-hip tea on the way? You said that you nearly fell.
Inspector, I swear I did not spill any of the rose-hip tea.
Very well, then. Mademoiselle Pink, did you see or hear anything that might help? The fitness studio is the room closest to the staircase leading up to the bathroom where Mademoiselle Rosebud and Monsieur Laurent were sharing a bath.
I was listening to musical earbuds. I did not hear or see anything. So sorry, désolé, Inspector. I truly wish that I could help you.
Merci. How about you, Mademoiselle Bella? Did you hear or see anything suspicious from Fiona's little chapel?
Inspector Petit, I am so sorry, but there is nothing more that I can add to my story. The little chapel is quite soundproof so that one may pray and meditate without interruptions. It is quite a distance from the upstairs bathroom and the staircase, Inspector.
Merci. Monsieur Pasteur, you were here in the wine cellar, correct?
That is correct, Inspector. I was here, sitting right over there, relaxing on the bright red sofa.
Did you happen to hear footsteps? Or the sound of dragging a body down steps or across the floor, monsieur?
Ah, oui. Yes. I heard a dragging sound above me, but I didn't give it a second thought. I thought it was someone with a suitcase. The noise only lasted a few seconds.
Alors, Fiona's body was found on the floor of her music room. This room requires descending 7 steps, and the music room is just adjacent to her little chapel. And now, the liquid found next to her has been analyzed by our lab in Dijon. Mademoiselle Bella, I am giving you one last chance to come forward. We have enough evidence in this case to charge you, Blue Bella, for the murder of Fiona Flontrachet. I am placing you under arrest. S'il vous plaît, turn around while I put these handcuffs on you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand the rights I have just read to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me?
No, I do not wish to speak to you. I will contact my attorney.
As you wish, mademoiselle. Now come with me.
Fiona Flontrachet. You see, Fiona poisoned and killed her husband, Jean-Claude, so she could be with Citron L'Orange. But Blue knew about Fiona's scheme and witnessed Jean-Claude's death. Fiona grew tired of paying Blue hush money and decided to kill her. The two met in the chapel. Blue was quick to defend herself, and it was Fiona who succumbed to the statue of Saint Dymphna. Blue's attorney was able to prove his client acted in self-defense. Blue is currently employed as an anger management counselor in Dijon. The 5 others were catatonic and dazed as they packed their suitcases. Oh, they were worn out and weary from the long bout of questioning. They slowly and sadly made their way to the train station, purchased little green tickets, and boarded a dirty silver train back to Dijon. Rosa Rosebud and Citron Orange met frequently at l'Hotel Vertigo in downtown Dijon, on and off for about 6 months after Fiona's death, to console each other, of course. They soon ended their affair after Citron discovered Rosa in an adjoining hotel room bathtub with Louis Pasteur. Monsieur Pasteur has not yet discovered the Flontrachet Vineyard's secret wine formulas, but he continues to experiment. Paris Pink and her daddy tried their best to purchase Flontrachet Vineyards, but when Fiona's last will and testament was unsealed, It named Mademoiselle Ivy Inverness as the sole beneficiary of Flontrachet estate and vineyards. Well, Ivy had no interest in selling Flontrachet. You see, Fiona knew who she could trust in life. Ivy and Fiona were inseparable, like twin sisters who vowed to be best friends forever and ever. Ivy is carrying on the traditions of Flontrachet vineyards, but Fiona's ghost lingers. Should you ever get an invitation to go to Flontrachet Vineyard, you may want to think twice about RSVPing. This tragedy has cast darkness throughout this once enchanted special place, just as a purple grape skin stains the tongue. I recommend staying home and cracking open a bottle of France's best, or your favorite French libation. Let that first big sip tantalize your tongue and take you to a taste of better times, where friends are madly, truly, deeply rooted in the craggy soil of Montrachet.
Here is tonight's all-volunteer local cast.
Donna Fiore as the narrator.
Carol McAllister as Inspector Petit.
Marianne Mosley as Rosa Rosebud.
Guy Bailey as Louis Pasteur.
Judy Rodman as Ivy Inverness.
Barbara Boyle as Blue Bella.
Wendy Smith as Paris Pink.
Dan Tackett as Citron L'Orange.
We hope you can join us the last Friday night of each month for another Pelican Players Radio Theater show. Please be safe, stay well, and thanks for listening. Good night.